Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Spiritual Growth Podcast. It is Felicia Carter with Lioness Creation Designs, Chakra and Love Healing, the podcast, the Spiritual Growth Podcast, of course, Heal Baby, and Bye Bye Belly. I am so excited to be on here tonight. We are going to be talking about manifestation. So I'm just going ahead and setting my privacy on my page. And tonight, if anyone wants to join in on the conversation, please just let me know in the comment section and I will try to bring you on camera so that we can have a conversation together. Okay? So, first off, welcome. I hope that you had an amazing day. Let me know where you are tuning in from. And if this is your first time here on the Spiritual Growth Podcast, also, if you are catching the replay, go ahead and hashtag the word replay and let me know the same. Please make sure that you heart and that you share this podcast out to your pages so that other people can go ahead and see this as well. So it is 8:01. So I want to go ahead and get started tonight. I have a lot to talk to you all about as far as manifestation goes. Um, Tonight, I would like to have an interactive podcast session. Again, I really enjoyed being able to talk with you all and get your input as well. I feel that that would make this podcast flow a lot better because I get to see and hear all of your different views on things. So I'm guess the first thing that I want to kind of go over is what is manifestation, right? And we're going to talk about how do you manifest in your life. Now, guys, I look a little bit crazy tonight, and I hope that y'all can hear me okay because I got my microphone on, but I don't know if it's fully charged. So if you hear any glitches or anything like that, please make sure that you let me know. Um, so first, for me, what manifestation is basically calling something into your life. So if there's something that you want to show up in your life, something that you want to change in your life, this is something that you are going to work on in order for it to come into your life because you cannot do anything without working for it. Okay? That is the most important thing. I think that a lot of the times we look at something and we say, this is what we want, and we don't want to put work into it. And so, first, you have to change your mindset. Of course, that's with everything. You have to think about the thing that you want and how you are going to achieve this thing. Okay. Um, the textbook definition of manifestation basically is a positive affirmation, and it's a statement basically that instills positive beliefs and attitudes within you, and basically it's something that you say over and over again so that you get it and you also work towards it. So let me give you an example, okay? So before I even knew what manifestation really was, of course I had heard about it, but it was nothing that I thought that I would be able to do myself, right? As I was in the beginning stages of my spiritual journey, we, of course, had been wanting to buy a house, me and my husband. Okay. Neither one of us had ever bought a house before. And actually, when I got with my husband, it was the first time that I had ever really even lived in a house. I had always lived in apartments. And to a lot of people, it may not seem like anything major, but for me, that was something major because apartment living, as you probably know, if you live in a house, is something different. And of course, I wanted my own home, my own space and something for the kids. So, manifestation, I was, kind of like, oh, okay, like I'll give it a try, to manifest it. And I researched, like, what is manifestation? Okay. And I was like, okay, I want a house. I want to live in a house. I want to live in a house. Well, manifestation is a little bit deeper than that, right? So I was like, all right, let's do this for real because it wasn't working. And so I took a picture of a house. It was a house, it was 5 bedrooms. It was in the area that we wanted to live in. And I printed off a house in the area that we wanted to live in. I put that picture behind my computer where I could see it every day and just basically say, this is what I want, this is where I want to live. Um, and every day I sat in the same spot because it was where I was working from home at the time. And so every day, you know, I put it in a common area as well because at the time, I was working out of the living room in the house that we were currently renting during COVID. And it was behind my work computer, taped up to the wall. So this house was a house that was 5 bedrooms. It also had 2 baths, and it was in the area that we wanted to live in. And I looked at it every day that I was working. In my job, I am a provider credentialing manager. At the time, I was just a specialist where I credential providers. That wanted to work in facilities. Okay. So I would sit at the computer, I would look up at the picture every day, and I would say, that is what I want, a 5 bedroom home with 2 bathrooms, because sharing the bathroom with kids can be a nightmare. And that is what I constantly said to myself. I want to be in a 5 bedroom house with 2 bathrooms in the area of Verina. And that was specifically the area that we wanted to live in. And along with that, and working on our credit and looking at different homes every day, and just basically, working with a, what do you call it? A lender or mortgager. I forgot what she was, but we were working with someone, and just basically working towards the goals that we wanted. And I even sometimes would write in my journal, like, this is what I want. We want to be in a house. And that's what we got. Now, the house that I had the picture of was not exactly the house that we got, but we got a 5 bedroom home with 3 bathrooms, actually, because we have one in our room, one in the hallway, and one downstairs. And it is in the Verona area that we wanted to be in. So, we got more than what we expected because I didn't put any specifics with it. I didn't say, it has to have a back patio. I need it to be a big yard. Like, I didn't think about any of those other things. The only things that I knew was that I wanted a 5 bedroom home with 2 baths. And everything else that we got is a plus. Because we really could have got, at the time, we could have got a 4 bedroom home, and that would have even sufficed. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on. That would have sufficed because at the time we only had 3 kids, right? The additional room was so that I could have my own office for my business. So I was able to get that. And my husband had wanted to have a game room, but at the time my oldest son lived with us, so the extra bedroom for a game room was not there. But we ended up getting an area that he was able to put his game room in, and we got a, oh my gosh, y'all, I don't know how long I need to let this thing charge for, but all right. So he we were able to get a 1 car garage, which we didn't even like. When I did my manifestation, I didn't put specific details. So what we got was extra. right? But it is exactly what we needed and more. Hey, whoever's doing the clapping, stop. Victoria, I know these kids know when I go live. It's crazy to me. But anyway, so when you are manifesting the things that you want to manifest, make sure that you are specific in your manifestation. Make sure that you provide the details. So let me go over the 369 method for manifestation, which is something, yes, I agree. Specific details can be important sometimes, or just stating that you desire, you want things to work out to the highest good. Exactly. And that is exactly what, at the time, what I failed to do because I didn't know. And I was like, I'm just going to manifest a house. At the time, that's all that I wanted was just to manifest a house in the area that we wanted. Right. And the 369 method of manifestation, basically, you're writing it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. Okay. And you can either do this just in your own journal or you can get the 369 manifestation journal. Now, at the time that I manifested my house, I did not know about the 369 manifestation, but I do think that the 369 manifestation is a lot better than just going off of, your own manifestation. Now, all of it is still great because you are putting your intention into what you are trying to manifest. Okay. With the 369 manifestation, I just realized that there are a couple other things that I actually manifested into my life and did not even realize that I was doing it. And this is even after like this year. I was doing the 369 manifestation. Let's see if I can find it real quick. So okay, so here we go. So one of the things I was manifesting was to be able, it says, I am happy and grateful now that I am oh my God, that I am enjoying positive relationships with family members and friends. I look forward to family time and planning activities with all my friends. And this year, I have actually been out a few times with friends that I have currently made, and planning activities with them. So that has definitely been a plus. Also, um, it was, let me see. I also was working on, I haven't gotten that one yet, but we're working on that one. Um, okay, yeah. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me easily and continuously from multiple sources. I enjoy financial freedom and abundance in all areas of life. The financial freedom part, we're still working on, but I am getting additional income from multiple sources. So that's something else that I've been working on. Bonus tip, write it down 3 times towards you and also place it in your pillow. It's two methods in one, 369 and pillow. Okay, I haven't heard about the pillow, but I love that. And definitely will be working on that very, very soon. Um, Something else that I had been working on. So let me show you all something else. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Please make sure that you heart and share this live out. Um, please. Okay, so this is called the Manuscripting Journal. This thing is big, it's amazing. It actually has all types of things in here. It has a journal, it has rituals, how to do a vision board. how to work with crystals, how to work with chakras, how to do activations, all types of things, right? And I got this because I kept seeing it. So I was like, definitely know that I need to get it, right? Um, and so it has a section in here where it asks you what are three things that you want to manifest, right? And in here, I I put three things that I wanted to manifest. And one of them, okay, so this one was actually like, and I'm gonna try not to tear up on this one or cry on this one because I didn't realize like that I really was working on this and I manifested this into my life. Okay. So this says, I want to manifest better health where I don't have to take pharmaceutical drugs and I can only depend on herbs. This looks like knowledge of what herbs are good for. This looks like not being sick all the time and in pain. This looks like waking up and being able to not feel pain or being tired. This looks like glowing skin and healthy weight. This looks like not being winded when I walk and not craving unhealthy food. This looks like exercising more. Okay. Now, exercising more, that's an off and on thing depending on how the day looks. But I have manifested being healthier. I have manifested being at a healthy weight. I have manifested just not taking pharmaceutical drugs as much and taking herbs. I'm not taking any pharmaceutical drugs right now. I am healthier. All of my lab work is still coming in and it looks amazing. And I feel great. I'm not in pain as much anymore. Of course, I'm older, so there's gonna be some aches and pains a little bit. It's not gonna all be cleared up, but I really manifested this in my life because after I started using this journal is when I met someone who was gonna be able to really come into my life and tell me about the company, the health company that I'm with. And that company uses plant based natural herbs. And ever since, it has really helped me transform my life. I'm eating healthier. I am doing what I need to do for my health. I'm drinking more water. I'm eating more fruits. I'm eating more vegetables. I'm plant based. But even being plant-based, you can still make unhealthy choices. And I think that's the part that a lot of people don't realize. Just because you might be vegetarian or vegan, it doesn't mean that you're doing it health in a healthy way. So just realizing just right before I came on here that I manifested this into my life with being healthy and having more energy and like these are the things that you can really manifest the things in your life. Yes, our decisions dictate our future. They definitely do. You know, you have to be intentional with every single thing that you do. I know that I don't know if I wrote it down, and I probably wrote it down somewhere because in this manifestation journal, it has a part where you write a letter to yourself, but it's also a manifestation as well. Um, and you basically are just writing, you're basically just writing how, so here's one. So I wrote in here, go away. Dear universe, I am so happy and grateful now that I have made 10 orders in my Baba Belly business this week. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have, and I wrote it over and over again. And then it says, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's a form of manifestation. Okay. Um, I wrote one that said, "Dear universe, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am in a happy, loving relationship where communication with love and understanding of each other's needs." Um, Manifestation is where you take something and you put it into future tense as if it has already happened. So it I think something that I always wanted to do was to be more vocal and be able to teach spirituality or what I know, and do more podcasts. Okay. So that is something that I wanted to do, but I didn't write it down. So for someone who maybe wants to do podcasting, you would say something like, I am so happy and grateful now that I have a successful podcast where I am teaching the masses on how to put together a beautiful outfit and spend less money doing it. You know, you would say something like that. And these are the things that you would say and repeat to yourself in your mind, whether you write it down. You can say things in your mind and still manifest it. Work towards it. How are you going to make that podcast happen? What are the things you're going to do to work towards that? Are you going to get out and network with people that you know who might have podcasts already? Are you going to put out there that you will be starting a podcast in December of 2024? I will be starting a podcast. I hope that you all will join me while I start my brand new journey. My podcast is going to be about how you can start a brand new business with just $50 and be able to build upon that. You know, these are the things that you want to think about. You have to put in the work while still manifesting what it is that you want. I know the reason why I'm still working a 9 to 5 is because I have not manifested not having a business. I have manifested being successful and having multiple business and multiple streams of income, but I have not manifested not working a 9 to 5 and having my businesses be my main source of income. So that is why I know that I'm still working a 9 to 5. But in time, I know that I will not be working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. I will retire early and I will be working my businesses full time. So once I make that up in my mind that that's what I'm going to do and I manifest that into my life, it will become, because anything that you work on, anything that you put in your mind will happen eventually. You just have to believe it. You have to have that intention and you have to work towards it. So that is what I wanted to talk about for manifestation. I want to know, are there any other thoughts out there, or have you manifested anything in your life that you want to share tonight with us? Because I would love to hear how you manifested something in your life that has changed your life for the better. I know that being able to network with other people and being able to do things was definitely something that I always wanted to do. And now that I'm able to do that on a large platform, to be able to help people and really just, you know, had stepped outside of my comfort zone, this is also something that I was always thinking about wanting to do, wanting to get out of being shy, wanting to, not be scared to do things. And now here I am with a video podcast, something that I talked about on my other podcast, on my audio podcast on Spotify, called Chakra and Love Healing the podcast. I was talking with my co-host and I was like, one day I'm going to do a video podcast, but not right now because I'm too scared. And I kept saying that. But, now that I'm doing a video podcast, it's like, okay, I'm doing this. And now what? You know, Set yourself goals. Make those goals happen. Manifest those things into your life and then move on to the next goal. The next goals for me are this, and this. All right. And that's what I'm working on. You should always be working on something. You should always be manifesting something new into your life. Work on one thing, do that, achieve your goal, and then move on to the next thing. It's so important. Like always say, like we're never done growing. You can never be done learning. You can never be done getting to the next thing. It's also important. Even in your spiritual journey, you're never done doing the work. So put that work in it. Okay? Y'all, I'm so serious. Can you manifest something for someone else? That is an awesome question. I'm going to tell you what I think. I definitely think you can manifest something for someone else, right? Also, I feel like you can manifest something for someone else, but I also feel like they have to be open to receiving it, right? So you can manifest as much as you want, right? You could do your 369, you could do the pillow manifestation, you could say it in your mind. If they're not open to receiving whatever it is, then I feel like it's not going to work. So I feel like it really depends on whether or not your manifestation for someone else will be successful because of what it is that they are, where they're at in their life. It's just like when um on our last podcast episode we had a guest that was saying, that basically they wanted a better situation for a parent. They were addicted to whatever it was they were addicted to, right? So if they are not ready to go into therapy, they're not ready to get rehab, right? And you try to manifest that for them, it's still not going to happen because that's not what they want. So if that makes sense, they have to want to do better. And even though you may want it for them and you may be trying to manifest it for them, they can put up those blocks. They could be there and they're not going to penetrate, you know? That's how I think it is. Conceive, believe, achieve. Yes, definitely. I love this. Hey, thank you so much for hopping on. Please make sure that y'all share this live, heart this live, and get it out to other people. Yes, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Hi, I was busy coloring with my daughter, but my daughter left me for a few minutes saying her hand was tired. Oh, well, welcome. I'm glad that you got a chance to hop on here. I love coloring. I have a bunch of coloring books. I don't color as much as I want to, but I'm going to manifest more coloring time because it is really good for you, especially when you're stressed. Can someone use your manifestations for their own by stealing your healing and protection stones and rocks, sunrise, or rose quartz? Can someone use your manifestations for their own by stealing your healing and protection stones and rocks? Um, I still okay. So like, if they take your healing and protection stones or crystals, are they going to be able to manifest for themselves? That's what I'm getting your question is. And I feel like no. I feel like just because they have your crystals or any of your spiritual tools, I don't feel like that they would be able to manifest for themselves. Manifestation is intention. Manifestation is work. And just because they take your spiritual healing tools, it doesn't mean that it's going to be successful for them because, depending on the intention and if they're doing the work, I feel like it could definitely backfire or it may not happen for them. That's how I feel. I could be completely wrong, but I know that manifestation is intention. And without proper intention and knowing what, like what you're doing and how you're doing it, I feel like no. I feel like it's not gonna work for them. I know that I have some great people on my timeline, and we're actually speaking about that. Like you could have all of the spiritual healing tools, all of those things in your life. And I even provide, spiritual healing tools and crystals and things like that. But without you actually setting your intentions for the tools that you get and actually believing in it, it does absolutely nothing for you. So, it's all intention. You have to have the right intention before anything is going to work for you. You can't go into it and be like, "Oh, this isn't going to work for me." It's all about that mindset again. If you have a negative mindset, if you have an ill intention mindset, it's not going to do anything for you. What are some ways to know what angel numbers mean when Google shows many reasons for the same number? Well, angel numbers, it all depends. And I was talking to a good friend about this. I don't know if she's still on here, but I was talking to her about angel numbers earlier. So, yes, angel numbers, they have many, several reasons, right? But when you see an angel number, you have to think about what was it that I was thinking at that time? What was I feeling at that time? Um, it's gonna tell everyone something different, but Google may tell you a specific thing. It'll be along those guidelines. I even have an angel numbers book that my son got me for my birthday, where it tells me, hey, this is what the angel number may mean, and they'll ask me a question. So it really depends on what it is that you were thinking and feeling when you saw the angel number. I know sometimes I see angel numbers when I'm driving. And for me, sometimes that may mean that I need to calm down because I have road rage. I posted a post up on my page the other day that I thought was hilarious, where it was basically like, when you date a girl with road rage. And I thought it was funny. But sometimes I see angel numbers on, either at the gas stations that I'm passing or on signs and or even license plates and things like that. And in those moments, I think about how is it that I'm feeling right now? Am I frustrated? Am I about to go off on somebody? And sometimes it actually keeps me grounded because I'm like, okay, like you don't have to be in a rush to get to a job because they are not going to be in a rush if you get hurt. They're not, like you have to think about what it is that you're feeling at that moment. And I think that that's the way of your spirit guides or your ancestors or the universe, whoever, God, telling you, this is what you need to do. Like, it's okay. Take a moment. And I think that the angel numbers are there to guide us, to help us figure out how we should move along in our life. Um, a lot of the times when I see angel numbers on the road, I know it's either because I'm about to um, have road rage, or it's because at that moment I'm calm while I'm driving, no matter what the circumstances. It could be raining, like today. It poured down, like after I got over the bridge, and I was calm. I couldn't see And I have been in an accident before in the rain. I couldn't see, you know, and sometimes when the ground is super wet, your car starts to slide a little bit. I was calm, I was cool, I was collected, and I didn't go off on anybody or anything like that. I wasn't concerned about the car behind me because they were tailgating me while I was pouring down. Like, and you think about it helps you to think about things. That's what I think angel numbers are there for. So thanks for asking that question. It's so awesome because I was just talking to someone about angel numbers today. So that is all the angel numbers are for. It doesn't have to be specifically what Google has on there. Understood. One time I went and took my former coworker to a Christmas service who was really struggling. She was living in a motel. I bought her some gifts. We were in the drive-through at McDonald's and I seen 222 on the car in front of me as she was opening her gifts. And you know what I get from that? From that, I get that your spirit guides or your ancestors or the angels or the universe or God was telling you, you know, this was for her a blessing and that she was probably very grateful that you did that. Um I was in a situation, me and my family, we were actually homeless for almost a whole year. We were living in um, different hotels. And then we stayed with a couple of family and friends for a little while. And it was because I had lost my job and things got really hard. And, you know, at the time, I wasn't thinking about angel numbers or anything, but every time that someone did something for us, it just felt like, "Thank you so much." Like, my car started acting up, and we didn't have the money to get it fixed, but my car got through the whole time that we were, um, homeless. Like, my car ran the entire time, okay? My brakes went bad, and sometimes I felt like while I was on the highway, like something terrible was gonna happen, in the rain and, getting back and forth to work and getting the kids, like, even like during that time, my husband's family member, um, like towards the end of everything when we were about to get a place that we didn't know about, at that time, like she had let us stay in her apartment because um like she was moving and her lease wasn't up. So we were just basically gonna stay there for the time until her lease was up. And for us, it was a huge blessing that we didn't see coming. We only had to pay, like a little bit. We didn't have to worry about like all the other stuff, but we were paying on the rent, and that was such a blessing to us. But during that time, it my car, I did end up with I was on the way to take the kids to school one morning and my tire blew while I was on the highway. And we were safe. I didn't get into an accident with them. I was able to pull over and for, you know, wait for someone to come. It was hard with the insurance and everything, but somehow we made it through everything that was happening at that time. It got harder and harder, but we were still able to manage having food. We were able to manage getting the kids back and forth to school. We both got back and forth to work. Like when I think about it now, I guess the reason why it makes me, get choked up is because our spirit guides were really watching over us. The universe was really there for us. And, during that time, like I know I was saying, I want to have this and I want to have that, but I didn't know much about manifestation. And I feel like if I had known about manifestation in the way that I do today, yeah, it could have been different, but I feel like it was also meant for us to go through that so that I knew now what I didn't know then, and it shows me a different way. So, um, that was beautiful for you to do that for her, and I can definitely understand where she was coming from. She probably felt so grateful, because I know that at that time, anything that anyone did for us at that time, I was grateful, you know? So and, I said I wasn't gonna cry, so I didn't cry. Almost, but I didn't cry, y'all. All right. Are there any more questions or any more comments? Does anyone want to come up on the platform and talk about manifestation? I know sometimes I get sidetracked, y'all, but like I said before, I love talking to y'all. I love doing this podcast. Um, and I don't know, while I'm waiting to see if any more comments come in, I don't know how many of you all have seen the post. We now have a broadcast channel on KH Institution where we'll put posts out, notifications, and motivational quotes and things like that. Try not to, like, overwhelm you guys with messages and things, but I definitely feel it's another way for you all to be able to get messages from us. You cannot comment back, but you can react to the posts that are there in the messenger. So if you haven't joined that chat, make sure that you do so that you can keep up with messages from us, little love notes throughout your day to really get you going. Um, and then also, hopefully we can get it together. If you are not subscribed to us as well, we will hopefully soon be able to set up subscriber chats or posts specifically for you for subscribing to our page. Let's see. We are definitely looked out for. I love your story. I definitely resonate. I had abuse in my home and bounced around in shelters until I was 19. I moved into my own place. A generous couple bought me a car at 20. I am very grateful, and it felt like manifestation since I've spoken about it. Ashley, oh my gosh. First of all, I don't want to get too emotional, but one of the biggest things that I've always wanted to do since I have been a teenager is be an advocate for anyone who has been in an abuse situation or a domestic violence situation. So first off, I'm glad that you're still here with us. I too was I was a domestic abuse survivor. So I always get emotional, but I have been healing, and I love the fact that you are still grateful. I love the fact that, you were able to do what you needed to do, and you're out of that. And I love that. I love that for you. And I just want to say, y'all, for real, like, if anyone, it doesn't matter if it's been abuse, if it's been domestic violence, um, from family, friends, whoever it is, it doesn't have to always be that way. Just know that you are worthy enough to get out of that situation. Your life is worth more than what they try to tell you it is. And and you have so much to accomplish in this life. remain grateful and push through. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I love that. And yes, you can manifest anything in your life, anything out of your life. Manifestation is real. Thank you so much for sharing this link. Thank Sacred Scribe Angels Numbers. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, y'all. So y'all know, all right. Well, if y'all don't know, I my anniversary was yesterday and I had an amazing time. And this weekend we're going out of town for a little bit, not out of the state, but just out of our little area. Um to a resort. Super excited about that. So we'll be back on Sunday. So I may not be posting as much, but the page will still be posted. All right. The other editors will have y'all covered, you know. I'll try to maybe throw in a quote or two there for you all, but I so appreciate y'all hopping on the podcast tonight and interacting with me and chatting with me. If y'all have not already hearted and shared this live out, please make sure that you do. Make sure that you let me know where you were tuning in from if you were here live. And if you come back for the replay, please, let me know that you're watching the replay and where you're tuning in from, y'all. I love doing this with y'all, and I will be back next Friday with uh I think it's gonna be podcast episode number 7. And y'all know I don't know what we're gonna be talking about just yet, but I will definitely let y'all know where um what we're gonna be talking about. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, New York. Welcome. Oh, you're from Fiji? All right. Thank you for watching from Fiji. Thank you. Well, we love you all too. Okay. That is why we do this. We do this for everyone else. And that is our main goal. The collective of us have come together to bring you guys inspiration, spiritual advice, spiritual healing, and just love. And that is why we do it. Like we really are doing this for y'all. Okay. And we love y'all so much. If y'all knew how much we talked about the page and what we want to do with y'all, it is going to be some amazing things coming up. So y'all just make sure that y'all stay tuned. Make sure that y'all got y'all notifications set up so that y'all don't miss anything from the page because you might miss out. All right. So I love y'all and we will talk next week or